Hey, good morning. This is Alan Buchanan, and I provide location advice to owners and occupants of industrial buildings in Southern California. And welcome to another edition of Tuesday Traffic Tips. This week, once again, brought to you by the great folks at Client Look. I put a link at the bottom of this post. Please be sure and visit them and also demonstrate their product. Hey, today I want to talk to you about a subject that many of us are dealing with in this very robust real estate market, and that is off-market deals. Now, in many markets across the United States, vacancy is at an all-time low. I know here in Southern California, industrially, we are just south of 1.5%, and when you start peeling back what's truly available, we're probably closer to 1/4 to 0.5% vacant. And it never becomes clearer until you do a survey for a client and you realize that either there are no buildings for the client or the 2 or 3 that are available really don't work. So it's caused us to have to pursue off-market deals. Here's the biggest mistake I see folks make with our off-market deals. Off-market deals are not subject to the same market conditions as a listed piece of property. So if you're able to find a seller that nods his head and says, yes, in fact, I would consider selling the building if I could get XYZ. Quickly determine if XYZ is in the realm of normalcy. If you can get it appraised, if you've got to do a loan, if it's an all-cash deal, it's not as critical. But take a look and say, all right, that is slightly above, slightly below, right at market. Then convince your buyer to give the seller what he wants. Keep in mind, we're not talking about a listing that is subject to market conditions where there's a normal negotiation that occurs. And so the biggest mistake I see folks make is they just assume that since a seller said, sure, I'll sell at this price, that means it's open to negotiation. And as a result, what you end up doing is alienate the seller, the buyer gets frustrated, and the whole thing becomes a giant cluster. So give the seller what he wants if in fact you can do that. If you can't do that, I would just say keep looking until you find another off-market deal. Alan Buchanan, Tuesday Traffic Tips. Please visit the good folks at Client Look. Until next week, have a great week.